All right.
Okay. Go, Jason.
Actually, this is a video.
All right.
Well, for those of you who might not know me, I'm Roland Clay. Me and Lester served together on the USS George Phillip, which was my last command and his next to last command. It was an interesting tour of duty, right? But let me start from the top, right? I did 20 years in the U.S. Navy. I started in 1983. I actually joined in 1982 when all my fellow seniors had no idea what they were doing. I already knew I was joining the military. I already knew I was joining the Navy. No doubt about it. I was getting out of the murder capital of the world at that time, Detroit, Michigan. I'm not staying for that kind of business. So I left, went to boot camp in Great Lakes, Illinois. It must have been the coldest winter I've ever spent. And I grew up in Michigan. Winter hits a little bit different in Chicago.
Yeah.
The wind is a bit colder. I'm telling you, I don't know how I survived. It was so cold. But I got a month of boot camp and 11 months of school in Great Lakes. I went on to be a gas turbine systems technician mechanic. At the time, this is 1983, 84, my rate had just opened up to blacks in 1978 or 79.
Wow.
So basically, for most of my career, I was the only black guy in my division for most of my ships. But it was cool. I mean, it was interesting because growing up in Detroit, it was black folks.
Uh-huh.
it was black folks.
Wall to wall.
It was black folks. Now, when I got to my first ship, which was the USS Scott, DDG 995.
Okay, that's good enough.
No. DDG.
You could tell us anything. We don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's been a long time, right? But the U.S. Scott, the mess decks were segregated.
Oh yeah,
again?
Wow.
Yeah, back
welcome to my world. Go ahead.
when I got there, the mess decks were segregated, and
what year was that?
This would be 84. 1984.
Hey, where were you at? In Maine?
No, I was in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia.
84? I can't believe that. I was through there in 82.
It was informal. There was no formal segregation, but there was informal segregation.
Okay.
It was
underline.
It was like going into the prison, right?
Okay.
You have to sit with your peeps, right?
Right.
And everybody had their section. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody Understandable.
Section.
Yeah.
So, and anybody that know me know I don't care. I moved to my own beat, right? And I sat down and I sat with the engineers. Now you have to understand, at that time, there were no other black engineers.
Okay.
There might have been some black, maybe electricians, maybe HTs, but there was nobody in my division other than me that was black.
Okay. So, my world.
But those were the only people. Yeah, those were the only people that I knew. So I went to sit with them, and they was like, you're sitting in the wrong section. And I looked around and The USS Scott was my first one. My second one was USS Valley Forge, CG-50.
Okay.
The next one was USS Samuel Gompers out of Oakland, and finally the USS George Phillip out of San Diego. And it was an interesting ride. Most people that know me were surprised that I did 20 years.
Yeah.
that was
Same here.
yeah.
Time for another story. Okay.
Understandable.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I truly enjoyed myself, which is why I re-enlisted. Plus, they paid me $20,000 to re-enlist each time.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not bad.
all things considered, it was not bad. And then I got a skill out of the Navy that I've been able to utilize as a civilian whenever I wanted to. I worked on a Amazon distribution center. They brought me into the construction as one step below journeyman as an electrician. I ran a prison power plant as a stationary engineer. I've worked on as a diesel mechanic. All pretty good paying jobs.
Yeah.
But I retired, and for the most part, I've been in trucking.
Yes, Gary Christopher, Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville. There we go.
United States Marine Corps.
All right.
All right. Hoorah! Hoorah!
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Got three of them over there.
I think the military was a saving grace for me. Coming out of high school, I had no direction, no purpose. And Marine Corps allowed me an opportunity to grow as a person, as a man, as understanding, because going in, I was a one-way thinker. I was self-centered, just trying to survive. But it taught me when we unite and come together for a cause, that we can conquer things in life. And I first started out, of course, PI in South Carolina, and went from there to Camp Lejeune, on to Cuba.
Cuba, Havana, Cuba.
And,
Okay.
Toured the Caribbean, all over the Caribbean, but stayed there for a year and a half, and left Cuba. I'm a competitive swimmer, so I left Cuba. When I left Cuba, I was swimming pretty fast at the time.
You were swimming?
Swimming.
So you trying to swimming? Okay.
And the whole idea that I was captured by was the fact that there were very few black competitive swimmers. Period. Still aren't to this day.
Yeah,
Not
black
many.
folks don't swim.
Yeah, I swim. We swim from Barbados. We swim in Jamaica. We swim.
Hello. Yeah. We swim very well too.
There you go.
I was swimming against the Cubans and the
Lester.
Puerto Ricans.
Hey, who's
Puerto
that?
Ricans and stuff.
It's Kathy.
Oh, Kathy. Oh, man, you got me.
Hold on. Gary's still talking now. Gary's still
Yeah,
talking.
go ahead, Gary. We got a veteran.
So from there, to keep it short, I left Cuba, and had aspired to go to the '68 Olympics, and they would not give me orders when I got to Camp Lejeune, so I volunteered to go to Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
Volunteer.
Wow.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you, Gary. Let me ask you something. Do you know there's 3 Marines I know in Jacksonville? The Tots, John, Chubb, Jerome, and Greg Todd. Do you know any of them? They all was in the same time. They was in the same time you was in, because they're all Marines, by the way. Also, all Marines.
Yeah. something led me in a different direction. When I was wounded in Vietnam.
Okay.
And I was sent to back to Jacksonville at NAS, and I was in the hospital for like 9 months. And when that was over, it changed the course of my life. I was an athlete pretty much, and I had to change everything because of my physical body was kind of damaged. So, but it was the foundation. The Marine Corps was the foundation. I tell young people now, I mean, if you have no desires on college and have some, your dreams are directed on a path, the military is the best place to go.
Amen.
We can serve our country. I so believe in our freedoms and our democracy, and the Marine Corps gave me all those tools and patience and direction in life. And I'm thankful and grateful to all of you all for the years that you all put in and serve our country for our freedoms.
All right.
Petty Officer First Class, Dental Tech, USS Jason, Navy.
There you go.
There you go.
And how did that impact your life being a dental tech in the Navy?
Well, it gave me my career. I've been at my office for 34 years in Santa Monica.
What?
Yep, I'm still working, and they're all happy that I could be off on Veterans Day. I'm meeting some nice people here on your Zoom and paying my respects to our guy that passed away.
That's it. That's Eric, who's behind me. She talking about he was on our ship too. He was a SH, I believe. SH. I don't know if he was SH3 or SHSN, but he was a SH, and we went to his services back on the 16th of October. I'm saying 16th of October in Ontario, California. He's out there, and he was living in Ontario. His wife is still there. We went to support them, me and Betty. And he had a military service, a military funeral, and I recorded it. I'm making a video of it, and I'm going to show y'all a video I did of my cousin who was in the Air Force when they had his services. So any other veterans right now that need to speak, say they stuff before I get into this video clip. It's the ship fitters in the ship fitter shop on the Jason.
Wow.
1978.
Ooh.
All right, here y'all go.
And I am your senior drill instructor, and strives constantly to be the best in everything she does. Discipline and spirit are the hallmarks of a Marine, even after some of you have given up on yourself. Starting now, you will treat me and all other Marines with the highest respect, with firmness, fairness, dignity, and compassion. Physical or verbal abuse by any Marine or recruit will not be tolerated. If anyone should abuse or mistreat you, I expect you to report such incidents immediately to me. My drill instructors and I will be with you every day, everywhere you go. And look at me. My name is Staff Sergeant Hoover. Starting now, you will treat me and all other Marines with the highest respect, for we have earned our place as Marines and will accept nothing less than that from you. My drill instructors and I will be with you every day, everywhere you go. Obey orders quickly, willingly, and without question. Respect the rights and property
will treat you as we do our fellow Marines, with firmness, fairness. You must work hard to strengthen your body, your spirit, and your mind. Be proud of yourself in that uniform you wear.
Stop right here by the civil letter.
Get on the
just pay the test right now. Pick it up.
All right, hoo-yah.
Booyah.
Hey, oh my goodness.
Booyah.
Yeah.
It's intense.
That's what it takes to be a female Marine.
I do
Yeah.
it.
So you know, if that looks hard to men, they really don't get no break.
No, we don't.
Yeah, I know. I thought when I was growing up that I was going to be in the Army. I had my mind set on being in the Army. I was an Army guy, Army. I was going to be an Army officer. And my two brothers went to the Army. And they sat me down and they said, you know what? If you go to the Army, if your sergeant don't like you, then they're not going to promote you and you're going to have a hard time. And I said, man, do I listen to my brothers or do I go in with my own, what I want to do? And that's when I said, I'm going to listen to my brothers. I took their advice. I didn't go to the Army. I went to the Air Force. I was trying to get in the Air Force. And when I went to the Air Force, I didn't pass the test. They told me, come back in 90 days, you could take it again. I was like, what? I was trying to get out of Chicago because there was a lot happening there then. I said, I ain't got time to be waiting on 90 days. And I walked over to the Navy. And guess what? I passed the Navy test. And that's what
And the rest is history.
That's it. I was a seaman, came in as a seaman because I did ROTC for 4 years in high school. So
Wow.
that E3 as a higher rank coming in. And I spent time on the deck force. And from there, I started doing courses to become a hull technician. And as a hull technician, for y'all that don't know, we have a lot of duties that we have to know. Just being a hull technician is welding, ship fitting, carpentry, sheet metal, pipe fitting, lagging, and firefighting and damage control is number one over all of those. So I have to know firefighting and damage control and then teach people on my ship about firefighting and damage control. And I'm telling you, it wasn't an easy job, but I think it matched my personality because growing up, I was interested in a lot of things. I like to draw. I like fashion. I like martial arts because I was a Bruce Lee fanatic, and I like drama. So somebody told me, they say, you know, how can you do all those things? You have to pick one thing when you get older. I said, oh yeah.
No.
And I thought to myself, I said, I want to do all of them. And guess what? I did all of them growing up. When I was in the Navy, on my first 10 years, I was about to get out, and I wanted to be a draftsman, which they do graphics. And they told me, you need a portfolio. And I showed them. I went to a private school in San Diego, got a portfolio, showed it to them, and they let me in the graphics shop as a hull technician. Actually, I think I was HT1 then. And I came in, I got off of shore. I was on shore duty. So I left the sheet metal shop on shore duty and went over to the graphics shop and spent about a year and a half before I got out in 86. I did 2 tours because when I got out in 86, I came back in the Navy after being out for 12 years, living in Los Angeles, you know, in sunny California.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to art school up in Los Angeles. And later I ended up coming back to the Navy because I said, I just want to retire. I need to retire. So I came back and did 10 more years. I was in and out of the reserves, though, for about 3 or 4 of those years. So I got added time. That's why my total time is 25, because I had about 4 or 5 reserve years where I was bouncing in and out. And when I retired in 08 in Mayport, Florida, I was an HT2 again somehow.
Yeah.
If y'all know how those recruiters work, the recruiter kept telling me they didn't have a E1, E6 billet. And I was with this guy for about 2 years trying to get an E6 billet. And then he kept telling me he didn't have one, so I accepted the E5 billet. And that's how I ended up being E5, HT2. But I want to read something to y'all. Let somebody have a quick comment. I wanted to read something about a Medal of Honor awardee. Somebody have something quick they wanted to say?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick. One thing about the Navy is the travel. In my 10 years of sea duty, just 10 years, I managed to make it to about 50 countries.
That's a lot.
Wow.
I don't think I've been that many.
Yeah, I have I'll show you my I love me board real quick.
Okay.
So you can see. Can you see my
the map look like
map? Yeah, hold on. Let's see if I could get a good picture of it. But all those stick pins are all places that I managed to make it to.
Wow.
And yeah.
You
and
did
then,
way better than me.
once I got into trucking, I managed to visit all 50 of the states. Well, all 48 of the states in America. So I got my travel on.
I see.
And I have to agree with Gary. If you don't know what you're going to do, the military is a great place to start.
There you go.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen.
I know one of the before I start, one of the interesting things for me moving, why I don't have a problem moving places. In the Navy, in 1 year, I moved 5 places. I was on the Jason, and the Jason moved from San Diego to Hawaii. So I went from San Diego, California to Hawaii. And then in Hawaii, I didn't stay that long. It was a couple of months, I think I was on the ship. And then they was transferring me back to San Diego. So I moved from Hawaii, went to San Diego again. And then I got orders to go to Mayport, Florida on new construction. So I end up moving to Florida to go to a new ship and stayed in Florida for not even a year. And then they transferred me to Virginia. I went to Norfolk, Virginia to go to new construction for the USS Gallery, was a FFG. And then I was in Norfolk for a little while, maybe some months. And then they sent me up where the ship was being built in Bath, Maine. And I'm telling you, I've never been to Bath, Maine. And I was in Maine where the ship was in the wintertime. So I went all the way like from Hawaii to Bath, Maine in 1 year. I had moved 5 different places. So yeah, the Navy can be very interesting sometimes. And like today, it doesn't bother me to move. You know, when I get up to move somewhere, I pack most of my stuff because they used to pack our stuff for us. And I got so used to watching them pack, it was nothing for me to start pre-packing my stuff whenever I move.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to, what was that?
I was about to say, piggybacking on that, those experiences opens your mind.
There you go.
And like Roland was saying, traveling, you see the world in a different view. You see it more open and more connected than oftentimes we think it is. And it just, I think it helps us to be better people and more respectful of one another. And that's what democracy is all about, is this freedom that we have. And you all paid a big price and sacrifice for it.
I agree, Gary. One thing about joining the military, if you do it right, it'll make you fearless.
There you go.
It's hard to be scared when you have trained to master your fear. Firefighting, they teach you to run towards the danger.
There you go.
And that's not a natural thing.
not a fire, and I'm not scared of a fire. I will go in a fire if it was something burning.
Well, right. I can tell you fellas this, being in battle makes that look like child's play.
Oh, I can imagine.
And ducking bullets is a whole nother animal.
There you go.
A whole animal, but you also get a respect for the discipline and all the training you went through to prepare you for those moments. And you automatically act accordingly in those times.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you won't do it. You just won't do it. You have to have been trained to react. It's just no way. And it's such a gut check. It's such a gut check. Can you do what you've been trained to do? Can you do it?
Mm-hmm. In that moment.
Yeah.
In that moment.
I tip my hat to any combat veteran. I have to tip my. First off, anybody that joins the Marines is a whole different animal.
Crazy.
I gotta give it to you. It's a whole different animal. I did 20 years in the Navy, and I came out the same person pretty much I was when I went in, because the Navy doesn't require the stripping away of who you are, and the Marines, they will take who you are, get rid of that, and build a Marine.
That's exactly what they do.
Yeah, they build a Marine, but in the Navy, they work with what you got. You know,
Right.
they enhance whatever it is you are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because you can't swim an ocean, so you know if it is what it is, it's a whole different thing. But in the Marines, they give you orders like, "Do not fire till you see the whites of their eyes." I mean, come on, that's a tough one, bro. That's a tough one. You about to get knee deep in it. So yeah, I tip my hat to anybody that does that.
Well, mine was definitely there. If you've heard the term caisson.
Oh yeah.
I got
caisson.
wounded in caisson. So,
I actually wrote a book about my uncle's tour of duty in Vietnam called The Nervous Disorder. He swears everything in it is true, but it reads like a fantasy. Like it is just incredible, the things that went on in Vietnam, the stress level of jungle fighting is just, death is right around the corner. I mean, truly one step away at all times. And I think that a lot of the drug problem in America comes from Vietnam. Our soldiers went over there and they got hooked on those drugs because of learning to deal with the stress. They came back with these problems, and somebody came, created a pipeline from over there to over here, and it's all connected. I think it's all connected to Vietnam. That was a crazy time, bro.
It definitely had relevance, and we people talk about PTSD. We were in PTSD situations 4 or 5 times a day.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
You face life in reality and how quickly life can be gone.
What was your position in the Marine? What were you doing in Vietnam?
I was a basic ground pounder.
Oh yeah.
Combat Marine.
Yeah. To simply put it, I was a killer.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was trained to kill.
My uncle was in the 101, and they jumped out of airplanes, perfectly good airplanes for whatever reason.
I agree with you.
yeah, that was crazy right there.
That's a bit more.
He never, when he came back from Vietnam, he never worked a day in his life. He never took a job. Never took a job. He figured he did all he needed to do in that tour in Vietnam.
Hey, yes, you give up a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of combat and all that, I want to tell this story that I have of this guy behind me.
Okay.
This is about an Army soldier from the Iraq War after 9/11. His name is First Sergeant Alwyn Cash. On October 17th, 2005, while his second combat, he was on his second combat deployment to Iraq. He was riding in a Bradley armored tank when they ran over a IED, which is a explosive device, in the city of Dalaya, I believe. I don't know if I can saying that right. The blast ruptured the tank's fuel cell and spread gasoline quickly throughout the vehicle's hull, completely disabling it and engulfing it in flames. Sergeant Cash was manning the gun turret while slightly injured, but drenched in gasoline. As soon as the Bradley tank screeched to a halt, live rounds started to hit the tank. They were bouncing off the outside of it, and they was under heavy fire. After noticing the tank driver was on fire, Sergeant Cash immediately ran to pull him out of the fire. Sergeant Cash returned to the tank to rescue 6 other soldiers and their Iraqi translator. Inside the payload compartment is where they were. That's when Sergeant Cash caught fire to himself. I gotta get some water here. He was on fire himself. Then he returned multiple times to the burning tank to ensure that all of his soldiers was pulled out alive. Ignoring the flames that was on him, they burned away his personal protective equipment. Even though his uniform was melted to his skin, he refused treatment until all his soldiers were taken to care and in the hospital before him. Eventually, he was taken to Ballard Air Force Base and treated for extensive burn injuries. The surgeons worked for hours on his wounds, and the medics worked for hours on him in intensive care to stabilize him for transport. Unfortunately, losing my place here, damage to his lungs made him too sick to be safely transported by plane to the military hospital in Germany. And then on to the burn center in San Antonio. Unfortunately, he died 3 weeks later. He was given the Silver Star for his heroism. His peers, his comrades, his family were fighting to get him the highest award available for a soldier, which was the Medal of Honor. It took years of them fighting with Congress, the rank and file of the U.S. Army, and others before they awarded him the Medal of Honor. I mean, this took years and years of them fighting with Congress and with the Army.
That was earned.
So posthumously, he got awarded the highest military decoration awarded by the United States government, which is the Medal of Honor.
Yep.
Kudos to him, kudos to his family, and all his supporters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Army, only 1% of soldiers are promoted to or appointed to first sergeant. So the selection for first sergeant is extremely competitive, and only the highest rated soldiers can wear that rank. Applicants must be exceptionally well qualified with a broad breadth of experience and significant supervisory and leadership experience to be a first sergeant in the United States Army. So that is First Sergeant Alwyn Cash that I'm honoring behind me.
Amen. Amen.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to do old African tradition where we take homage to those that have left us. So y'all think about any veterans, okay, that you know of that has passed on. Then I wanted to do libations where we would take some water or take something and we would pour it in a pot. So I'm going to just improvise like I got that. And what we're going to do, you think of someone, call out a name, and then after that person's name, if you know they rank, you could say they rank. And then everybody else will say Ashe. Okay, that's Swahili for, you acknowledging and honoring the person that was mentioned. So to start y'all off, I think I got a couple people written down here that I had, if I could find on my messy desk. And the first one is going to be this guy, that a real good friend of mine that was on the USS Jason, that passed away recently. I was talking about, and I believe he was SH3 Eric Dozier, and everyone can say Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe.
All right. This is my father. He was a steward. He made it to steward second class, I believe. So steward second class, William McCurtis. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeah, as soon as I finish the name, boom, y'all say Ashe.
Okay.
Okay. Robert Johnson Jr., that's my brother. I don't know what his rank was in the Army, but Robert Johnson Jr.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Michael McCurtis.
Ashe.
Ashe.
My cousin Carl McCurtis.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Here's one of my biggest mentors next to my father. This guy, I used to go to his karate school in San Diego. And at the time, I did not know, had no idea all the time. This man was an Army Ranger instructor. I could tell you, that's why I still work out today at the age of 66, 67, one of them. He kicked our butt, literally. James, he was Colonel James Wilson.
Ashe.
Ashe.
HT2 Scott Timberlake.
Ashe.
Ashe.
HT3 Nelson.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Anybody else out there got somebody?
Willie Dumas.
We'll say it again.
Willie Dumas.
Willie Dumas.
Ashe.
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 Vincent Dean Williams.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Adolphus Hall Jr.
Ashe.
Ashe. Tom Sorensen.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Julius Christopher. Ashe.
Ashe. James Clay.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Jason Clay.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Dawood Akil.
Ashe.
Ashe.
And Irvin Tompkins.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Antoinette Hunt Lindsay, Marine.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Wait, she's still living, right, James?
Yeah, she's still living. I'm still throwing her in there.
Okay, we was people that passed away.
She ain't passed away. I passed away.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else? Someone that passed.
Jr.
Say it again.
Ashe. Nathaniel Christopher Jr.
Ashe.
Ashe.
All right, if that's all, we're gonna pray out.
Got one more. I got
I
one
thank
more.
all of y'all for coming through.
I got one.
You got
I got
one?
one. And my dad, James L. Hunt Sr., Marines, first sergeant.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Actually, I want to end it with this. I'm gonna show this military funeral. So give me a.
You got injured, Gary, and what was the battle that you got injured in?
Yeah, we was at the mouth of the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Yeah, that's a famous one. I mean, I look at the History Channel, and that battle is covered extensively for the heroism and the brutality. That it was just an insane. It was a opportunity where America's showed its grit. We were producing outstanding soldiers. People, I would hope we're still producing them, but what it took to survive that was a testament to who we are as a people, and the kind of training that we received. We were definitely better trained, and that made all the difference. Without that training, we'd have got wiped off the map.
The reason I said that was you had to stay laser focused at all times. I did not receive letters from home. I was totally focused on staying alive.
You didn't read letters from home?
No, I didn't get any. I didn't want any.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I went with the mindset that I had to stay totally focused. My dad was real concerned. And I told him when I left, I said, I will be back. I knew that part. How I know it, I don't know. But I knew I had feeling, and I had the focus that I blocked everything out as to what I was doing minute by minute from the time I put boots on the ground.
You know, you're absolutely right. You can't let yourself get down. There's a lot of stories where people were killed by suicide bombers, kids walking up and blowing themselves up. Correct. It was just a terror. I mean, danger came from everywhere.
And that's why we had a code that if we were approached, we have to take out that person, be it child or an adult.
Yeah. That's why they came back with this baby killer crap and whatever. You weren't there. You have no idea. You don't understand. And that's the other part of it is the number of people that actually serve in the military is so small that the general population doesn't understand what it takes to keep a nation safe.
He had a 72 Pontiac Bonneville. It was always something about his car, though. If I used it, he said, well, when you get in the car, or sometimes he would tell me, you got to let the heater run for about 10 minutes on high, and then you can start it up. It'll be all right. I learned how to appreciate cars and take better care of them from him. One wild weekend, we left San Diego, me and some friends, and we was heading up to Oakland. We were just talking about how we were going to be partying, boy, from Jack London Square all the way up to San Mateo. When we got up there, though, my car needed about a quart of oil. Next thing I know, it was Sunday morning. My car started making some funny sound. It was smoking, and it wouldn't start up. So I knew I had to call my cousin Carl then. He knew a little bit something about cars. I had to catch the bus back to San Diego that weekend and left my old Cutlass with him, but I knew it was in good hands. He called me a couple of weeks later and told me, man, you blew that engine out. They told me that you cracked the piston. After having to get that engine rebuilt, I had more of appreciation in my car and even learned how to fix it myself. After his marriage dissolved, he had more time to spend on his hobbies. Let's just say he could make a good wager. First thing he would do in the morning is find a 7-Eleven and get him a scratch-off or two. And after that, he'd grab one of the local papers so he can work his strategy on the horses. And later that day, it was on with the casinos. I've hit Las Vegas, and for sure I know we went to Reno together. He kept going all night long till 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, wasn't nothing left to do now but get a good stiff drink. He always had something to drink at the house, and I was right there with him.
Man, now I know why he used to always call me at 2 a.m. He often took me to his favorite restaurant to get something to eat. And that was a saying he'd always say that really cracked me up. Let me get some extra napkins. The waitress would always look at him kind of funny, but she would bring back those napkins. If you go in my cousin's house and look up on top of the refrigerator, you will find some extra napkins. I'm gonna miss you, Carl. Rest in heaven, my brother.